So let's talk some more about decision making in rhinoplasty, in particular deciding when to use preservation or not. And I think there's been a lot of evolution around this, and this is one of the things I'm really most interested in understanding and teaching. So one of the things that we taught, and I taught for a long time, was that if somebody had a wide nasal bridge, nasal dorsum, that they were not a candidate for preservation rhinoplasty. So it turns out that's not entirely the case because we have the opportunity to alter the dorsal aesthetic lines in preservation cases. Traditionally, with conventional hump resection, we detach the upper lateral cartilages from the septum, and if you fully mobilize the bones, then everything's going to fall inwards. And so in preservation, we've actually mobilized the rest of the bony vault, and so there was this concern about making additional vertical osteotomies in these patients. Turns out you can make those vertical osteotomies. Why is that safe? It's safe because the entire cartilaginous vault is intact underneath the nasal bones. And because they extend underneath the nasal bones, they act as a spring, and there's a spring effect, and the nasal bones will not completely collapse. In fact, you get a very nice little amount of narrowing, so you can actually create dorsal aesthetic lines where you want them using vertical osteotomies, as shown here, after the preservation, the rest of the preservation rhinoplasty of the dorsum has been performed. In addition to that, you can also alter the cartilage slightly using very light electrocautery. So with these two techniques, we can alter the dorsal aesthetic lines in patients with wide nasal dorsums while performing preservation rhinoplasty. So if you're just starting out in preservation, I don't recommend necessarily jumping right into this, but know that as your skills progress, you will be able to take on more patients, and patients with wide nasal bridges are candidates for dorsal preservation. I hope this helps.